Hey, have you ever felt that pursuing a comedy career can feel like an emotional roller coaster? Yep, there's going to be ups and downs, but fret not because you're not the only one going through it. Anytime you do something that is either a learning experience or something that is out of your comfort zone, there are going to be some emotions involved. So, in this video, I'm going to give you a brief presentation on how to be aware of these feelings you're going through and how to harness them so that they can work in your benefit. Let's jump in the emotions of a comedy journey. So the emotions of a comedy journey are actually more common than you think. I think anyone going through any sort of experience that seems difficult or challenging is where you grow, and some of the fuel of that growth comes from the emotions that you feel in the process. So in this presentation, I'm here just to let you know that you're not alone and that this can be in your favor if you know how to use your emotions correctly. So there are some common feelings that you're going to be feeling if you ever want to get into the industry of making people laugh. This is a very personal journey, and there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but both can be beneficial for you. And so here are 5 basic general emotions to be aware of while you're pursuing to become the comedian you're destined to be. So this emotional roller coaster ride is particularly for those that are aspiring comedians, whether you're creating content online or you're performing on stage. These are some of the things that you're going to be aware of as you're pursuing the goal of making people laugh. So the 5 basic emotions of a comedy journey start off with excitement, then you're going to go into insecurity, then there's going to be some delusion, then there's going to be desperation, and then the acceptance, which will allow you to go to the next level. So the first stop is the excitement of getting started in doing some sort of comedy venture. Whether it's going on stage for the first time or posting that piece of content or creating a podcast, whatever that is, something inspired you and motivated you in order to do this particular comedic activity. You visualize yourself in the comedy success of imagine if, and you go out and you get started. And then insecurity kind of starts creeping in. There's a little bit of a reality check. There's a little bit of friction as you gain experience. Okay, you begin to understand how this particular piece of comedy industry works, whether it's the podcast space, the getting stage time space, the algorithms of comedy, whatever it is, there's going to be something that's going to check you a little bit. And then once you start feeling this friction, you then start looking at other people and see how it's been working for them. And then you start questioning yourself. And then there will be times where you do get a big win. That means that piece of content went viral, or you gain a bunch of followers, or you absolutely crush it on stage and you get a standing ovation, and you get this thrill of, oh, I'm all set. I did it. But this delusion actually creates a glass ceiling for yourself, and it limits your development because you think that big win now has put you on a track where you're on the fast lane and you no longer have to learn anymore, or you're at a certain status or a level where you can no longer learn from a particular experience anymore. So be very careful with the delusion of actually gaining a little taste of success. And then the 4th stop is the desperation, where you kind of have an even bigger reality check and you realize that all the hard work you've done can probably be worked against you. You start to realize that the work that you've done is probably not adequate enough, and you begin to doubt yourself. And you start realizing that the comedy business or this particular factor in your comedy career is more difficult than you initially thought. So when you first thought it was about networking or working your way to getting stage time, you then start working with venue owners that kind of like don't respect your comedy career, or comedy club bookers that are gatekeeping you to the next level. Whatever that is, like it goes deeper. And the more you advance, the more you're able to realize that it's a harder game than you thought. And then you start to question yourself, well, if I thought I was making it big, and now that this new challenge has showed itself to me, I don't really think I'm going to make it. I wasn't expecting this level of challenge at all. So if you continue on and you gain more and more experience and realize that these challenges are just phases, you then get into a level of acceptance where you embrace the emotional journey, the ups, the downs, the wins, the doubts. Everything now works in your favor. And even bad and good learning experiences are kind of the same. You start realizing that a unique comedy voice has been developed through this experience, and then now you are in a position where you can now take your talents to another level because you understand the game, so to speak. So keep in mind that the mic might drop, but the experience never does. And with that quote, what I mean is when you actually win or lose, you still have more to go. So here are some steps I laid out so that you can benefit while you're going through your ups and downs in your comedy journey. The first one is you got to embrace them. You got to embrace all the emotions, and you got to realize that this is your story. This is the foundation of everything you're going through. And what you do is you then reverse engineer the good and bad. You start questioning, why was this a good experience for me? Or why was this a bad experience for me? What could you do different? What could you do the same again? How can you recreate the good? And how can you avoid the bad? The second step is go out there and find some like-minded comedians. There's a lot of comedians that you can resonate with that are going through the same growth or that are in the same level as you. And you can grow together. And it doesn't have to be as bad whenever it gets negative or when some sort of downfall happens. Some other comedy friend can then boost you up, or you can see somebody in your network giving you another opportunity. And then the third and most important part is you never stop learning. Never think that you can master comedy. And if you have a lifetime journey in it, it's a privilege to be able to channel it through whoever you are and whatever voice you're developing. But never think that you've developed a level where it's one and done, as if comedy ends with you. You have to continue learning. You have to continue building that experience and never feel as if comedy is something that you own. So in conclusion, the emotions are what makes the comedy journey worthwhile. And there's never going to be an end to it. And whatever process you're going through, really enjoy it because it's your own and no one else will ever have the same experience as you do. So be emotionally intelligent and be aware of everything that's happening in the process. And the longer you do it, the more experience you get. So never stop learning. If you want to embark on a comedy journey together, I do comedy coaching. Visit mannygaravito.com for one-on-one packages, or you could subscribe to the podcast channel and check out some of the e-courses I have available there as well. Remember, you're not alone. So enjoy the process, and whatever your story is, make sure it's a good one. And don't forget to make jokes out of it. All right. Your own experiences can obviously fuel you to give you some of the best comedy because no one else can ever experience the same thing you've ever experienced. So write a good book, make a good movie, make a sketch, write a one-liner, whatever it is, translate those emotions into something useful during your comedy career. Thanks for tuning into the Comedy Coach YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.